Welcome to another episode of the Apocalypse. Congratulations for choosing the Apocalypse. And since you have unwisely chosen the Apocalypse, you are in urgent need of a guide. Unfortunately for me, I happen to be that guide, your humble guide. Nicholas, so good to see you. A bloody game. Tonight, we will start right off. And it appears that Donnie sent Miss Skeletor out to the podium today to make another appeal to the world that Donnie get the Nobel Peace Prize. What bloody irony that the Antichrist would so desire the Nobel Peace Prize. I told you many, many moons ago that Donnie would desire the man of peace credential. I believe that has been borne out and taken place over and over and over again. Today again, Skeletor up at the podium saying Donnie should get the Nobel Peace Prize. Things like the Nobel Peace Prize, you're really not supposed to ask for them constantly outright like that. Usually if you're doing that, you probably don't deserve it. You haven't done anything to merit it. You get what I'm saying? That's a thing where you do something and then you get recognized by people. You don't actively solicit their vote or, their attention, whatever. That kind of defeats the purpose of being the sincere man of peace, doesn't it? Of course it does. But we'll get to that. Let's start with this. This is what was in the morning. Wow, Canada has just announced that it is backing statehood for Palestine. That will make it very hard for us to make a trade deal with them. Oh, Canada, because Donnie's all about Israel and the resort and the temple. Donnie knows what he's looking for. Donnie knows what's supposed to happen. Donnie will make it happen. About 3 major countries in the past few days, including Canada, have said we are going to recognize Palestinian statehood. That is a very dangerous statement to make because half the world hates your guts the second you make it. So you got to be real careful saying shit like that. I noticed there's a coordinated effort between some European countries and Canada to say, okay, it's time to endorse this. And you know what? There's nothing wrong with it. I have no problem with the Palestinians getting a state. It's just what it does is Donnie's main agenda is the Israel thing. He needs that to happen most for some reason. Remember when he first came to office, the first people he really went after were Muslim people in colleges that have either taken part in protests, written op-ed pieces, expressed displeasure with Israel. Those are the first people he went after. Of course, he was going after the Latin people as well. It just wasn't rolled out that well yet. Now it is. But remember who, he kind of went for first and where they're still at. Any critique of Israel is the ultimate taboo no-no with this Reich. What that tells me, because I know Donnie could give a fuck about Jews or anything about that. That tells me the Israel agenda is very important to Donnie. The guy in the story, that Israel agenda, is very important to him too. The guy in the story, he might do something like, want gold statues of himself on the Holy Land. The guy in the story also wants that Man of Peace credential really fucking bad. And that was written way before Donnie was born. Way before. So Donnie did do something in retaliation. He increased tariffs, but I'll get to that later, on Canada. I knew the second these countries announced that they want Palestinian statehood, that would really piss Donnie off. Donnie has an agenda right now with Bibi, and that is paramount, and nothing's going to fuck with it. And I mean nothing. That motherfucker will put troops on the ground in Gaza if he has to. He will do it without fucking hesitation. I promise you. He's talked about it, Freedom Zone. We're going to own it. He said this out loud in front of people. I did the videos on it when it took place. So anyone standing in the way of this agenda, he's going to try and hurt. He's done it to many already. The colleges he's gone after, he's used the excuse that they're not protecting Jews. They're allowing anti-Semitism. And remember, these are the people he went for first. So forget all the other bullshit you see. This is what's paramount. Aside from the grifting. That's just Donnie. This, though, is something else. The Israel-Palestine thing. Donnie and Bibi. That is the center of everything. That's where Donnie needs it to go. That's where their daddy needs it to go. And I think you know who their daddy is. And Donnie again retaliated against Canada just for that. Not for any trade reasons. For this thing, the Palestine thing. New data shows that layoffs have increased 75% from last year. There have not been this many layoffs since 2020. Oh, you mean when the plague was going around? Donnie's fucking amazing. Only he can tank an economy to such a thorough fucking degree with his grifting. And I don't care what the Dow Jones says. I'm talking about, the man on the street. The average man, the common man, most of us on the planet. $75% increase. Gee, I wonder what changed. Not as many layoffs since the plague. Remember that. Trump has signed an executive order ending the de minimis trade loophole for low-value packages shipped from all countries. The order, which takes effect August 29, will subject any shipments of imported goods into the U.S. worth $800 or less to duties. Yeah, that's gonna not be good at all for the economy. It sounds like a real bad way, and there's only a real bad thing, and there's only one logical reason to want to do it. You get to dip your hand into the till, the tariff till, the grift till. Only logical reason. There is no other logical reason. Don't tell me he's trying to improve business. He's killing it. I read you the stories every day of what the companies say the tariffs are doing to them. Major car companies, major all kind of companies. I read you a few last night. He is killing motherfuckers. Costing companies billions. And now any package 800 or under, so that's pretty much everything, it's going to have some type of duty applied. This a grifting motherfucker like I never seen before. I never seen grifting like this, boy. They want to squeeze every nickel they can out of the population and pocket that shit, son. That's all that's going on. There is no comparison to this by any other administration that I can think of. This is a whole nother level of dismantle it, loot it, ruin it, steal every nickel, leave everyone fucking penniless like it's the Grinch that stole fucking Christmas. I'm not joking. This is a whole new thing that they've been wanting to do for a long time. They being the Satanists, the real ones, not the fake ass your neighbors, no. This goes back to before George Bush Sr. days, at least. God knows how far it goes back before that. George Bush Sr. gave the speech. George Bush Sr. believed the same things these fucking people believe. It's a movement. And it's been around a long time. At least since 1933, but there's more, even more ancient shit that goes along with all this that these people are into. What is that going to do, putting a duty on every package basically that comes from overseas? From $1 on up to $800. I don't know what happens at $800. Is there some tax that goes along with that already? Is that why that number was chosen? Everything under the tax? We want to tax that too. Man, just this alone sounds real bad because Americans get a lot of shit from overseas. A lot of businesses get shit from overseas. Man, grifting again on a scale I can't even fathom it. I talked about this last night, but this is David Pacman. He's making a good point. The Trump admin is rolling out a nationwide health tracking system with Google, Apple, Amazon, CVS, mental health, meds, vitals, all synced, all shareable. Where is the don't tread on me, they're tracking us crowd? Oh, and there's more tech companies too that are taking part. All of them. I read the list last night. That's a short list right there. That's not all the companies taking part in the medical tracking regarding you. My question is, well, how are they going to track you? Oh, RFK said he wants everyone wearing a wearable within 4 years. Did you hear that? The brainworm guy that you think is so funny? The one that wants to put you in camps, you fucking idiots. That's how they'll track it. Once they get all your current info. You know, Donnie sends thugs to steal his medical records so we don't find out he has syphilitic dementia or whatever the fuck he has. Literally. He has some condition. You don't do that otherwise, son. But they want to form a whole database with every tech company, CVS, just everybody, your grandma. And they get to look at everything. You got the tech bros in the military with the rank of lieutenant colonel, 4 or 5 of them now. Does that sound normal to you, Rubes? Or does that sound like they about to fucking do something? And again, this ain't like Alex Jones during Obama years saying they about to do something. No, this is real this time. I'm not selling snake oil, son. That's the difference. This is real. They about to do something. What did RFK say? Within the next 4 years. Not like Donnie's leaving or anything, but they got to keep up the fucking facade, right? So yeah, where's the don't tread on me, Second Amendment, the government's evil crowd at? Oh, they're on the same side. They are the movement. They are the hand of Satan. I forgot. Never mind. You made it happen. And you got your name on it. So enjoy the wearable, the medical tracking system that every tech company's taking part in. God knows what that's really going to be for. why they want this information, because that's really what they want. And more control of you. It's going to that place you don't notice, like in the science fiction movies. And again, this ain't the Obama years, son. You wish for the Obama years with this bullshit. No, it's different this time. And no one's gonna stop it. No Democrat to come in and save your fucking sorry asses. Nope. Just the Antichrist, just dismantling, just looting, just fuck you. That's it. Maybe you get thrown in a concentration camp before you die. U.S. employers announced 62,000 job cuts in July, up 29% from June and 140% from last year. Wow, Donnie sounds like he's doing great. Again, I asked the question, I wonder what changed from then until now. Over 800,000 layoffs have been announced so far in 2025, the highest year-to-date total since the 2020 COVID crash. Again, since the plague. Isn't that interesting? It's almost like Donnie has a certain effect on things. Even without a plague. That's fucking incredible. It's almost as if Donnie is a plague. That's impressive numbers. I gotta give him that one. I don't care. This is Donnie again on the money laundering site. I don't care what India does with Russia. They can take their dead economies down together for all I care. We have done very little business with India. Their tariffs are too high, among the highest in the world. Likewise, Russia and the USA do almost no business together. Yes, we know, Donnie, because Russia was our enemy since 1945. So we didn't want to do business with them. Russia was actively trying to take over, ruin our country from the inside. And Vlad finally succeeded thanks to you rubes. He's got you now. Your country is his. Fuck off and die. That's what he wants you to do. So Donnie's pissed about Russia continuing the war. India must be making some deal with them behind the scenes that we don't know about, or maybe it's something public I'm not thinking of. So he's talking shit on them. And yeah, the reason we did no business with Russia is because we were constantly sanctioning them. They were our literal Cold War enemy, main competitor for supremacy of the world. Them and China. China's probably more powerful, actually. But we ain't going to take them on. We ain't going to take Vlad on either directly. But yeah, the reason we weren't doing any business with them, they're not reliable. It's a mob state. Straight up, mob state. We are too now, thanks to you, who have your name on this. We are a mob state now. In the image of Vlad Putin, and it will get worse and more obvious and more blatant and more in your face. I mean, fuck, the guy took a $400 million plane, and you people are preaching the gospel that he should fucking keep it. So yeah, we're a mob state now. And the Rubes, you know, again, they preach that gospel. Yeah, we're a mob state. Yeah, that's what we voted for. They don't even know what they voted for. Because what they're going to get ain't what they voted for, believe me. They're going to get fucking ruined. So are the rest of us. So now Donnie's touting the fact that we don't do business with Russia. Well, Donnie alienated all of our allies. Everyone hates our guts now. So all that's left is Russia, Saudi Arabia, Venezuela, places like that. Now Donnie's talking shit on Russia, and we don't want to do any business with them, even though we're hardly doing any at all. So who's left? Is my question. This is a fucking disaster. Part of the reason it's happening too again is because Donnie just wants the Nobel, and he's furious that Vlad isn't giving it to him by stopping the fighting. But for Vlad, this is about something else: the glory of Russia, bringing the satellite countries back into Mother Russia, the old Soviet Union. Vlad's a lifer KGB man. He's a real believer. He's a true believer in that old USSR thing. It was the same then as it is now. It's maybe a little more obvious, a mob-run state. It's just the culture over there. It's been that way a long time. Likewise, Russia and the USA do almost no business together. Let's keep it that way and tell Medvedev, the failed former president of Russia who thinks he's still president, to watch his words. He's entering very dangerous territory. Oh, shit. I didn't know this was a direct attack on Medvedev. I'm like dead tired here, and, I can't read every little word. I forgot. I read you the comment by Medvedev yesterday. He called him Gramps and told him, you don't get to tell us when we, decide to make peace or whatever. That's not for you to do, son. Actually called him Gramps. Damn. So Donnie's directly responding to that. Also, it's the Nobel thing. He wants that so bad, and Vlad is not helping him, making him look stupid. Showing us that Vlad's in charge and Donnie isn't until Donnie decides to snap the fucking leash. And this sounds like he's about to, but he won't. He'll heal like a good dog. Don't worry. He's getting a little uppity. Medvedev pissed him off. But, Donnie will get over it, and him and Vlad will be best friends again. Don't worry. Because, Vlad's got the compromat. And God knows what it is. I don't even want to know. It must be bad, whatever the fuck it is. Senator Josh Hawley says the legislation he proposes will send $600 tariff rebate checks to Americans. Wow, $600 whole dollars? Really? But not to Biden voters, only to Trump blue-collar voters per The Independent. Now, Leon's plan and Donnie's plan in the beginning, when Leon was co-chancellor, to give rebate checks, but only to people in a higher income tax bracket, not the lower income, because they look at you as you don't pay taxes, even though they don't pay taxes. They make an art form of it. Sometimes they get a refund check of like $15 million. Donnie's gotten a few. But to them, you don't pay taxes unless you're, make a certain amount of money per year. And that's who Leon wanted to give checks to. Not the poor. This idea as well, I have a feeling it will go to people of a certain income bracket, and no, it won't be blue-collar dudes. Because, you might get a few liberals in there. That might not work. We wouldn't want that, right, Rubes? That's why your country's over, because you don't want that. You'll understand that someday, but it'll be way too late when you do. Again, only one party proposes things like this. People keep saying that both parties are the same. I'm not seeing that anymore the way I used to. Because only one party took Russian money. Only one party tried to overthrow the government. Literally, we watched it on television. We watched who took part. And the Russian money thing, that's a big fucking deal. Because the second you take Russian money, you're now a traitor to your nation. The second. Let alone what you do after. And, Donnie's stealing the 3,000 classified documents. That doesn't really lend credence to him being honest, not a thief, not a liar, not a spy. So again, I'm seeing a bit of a difference between the two parties. And again, only one party's building concentration camps. Only one party put our military on the street against us. It's still there. Only one party comes up with ideas like this because the rubes will get mad at the thought of a black guy, Spanish guy, liberal person getting a check. We have to make sure the cruelty's in the bill. Otherwise, it won't fly. Again, son, that's why you lost your country, and it's never coming back. Wait till you see how bad it gets. You don't even know, son. You don't even know. Bots now account for over half of global internet traffic per fortune. Well, that's been kind of obvious to me for a long time. My God, the bots that come to my little ass channel. One of my videos got like 60,000 or 40,000 views. That's bots, son. And I didn't pay for them. I can't afford that kind of action. That costs money, son. I don't got extra money for bots. I just laugh, though. One video gets 60,000, one gets 3,000, one gets 10,000, one gets... The numbers are just like, forget about it. So, I've made the comment many times over the years that these websites would be half the size without Russian money. They'd also be half the size without the bots, half the traffic. This is per fortune, a reputable source. Bots now account for over half of global internet traffic. That's a lot of that's the majority of traffic is fake traffic. What do you do with that? Where does the world go with that? What do you do? None of it's real. It's all bullshit. A digital bullshit world where the majority of the people are fake. They don't exist. That's incredible what our reality has been turned into. Will the websites let up, stop it, curb it? Oh, absolutely not. They'd be half the size, son. Their numbers would shrink dramatically. They can't have that. Just yesterday, Trump said that inflation was taken care of and that prices were way down for everything. Yes, I read you that comment. Today's inflation report tells a different story. Inflation is up 2.6%, and this comes right before Trump's inflationary tariffs fully take effect. Yes, Donnie is wreaking havoc upon the economy. And yes, yesterday he said, oh, inflation's taken care of. No, it's down. Don't worry, everything's great. No, it's up 2.6%. Nothing but lies with this motherfucker. Nothing but lies. Obvious lies. Not even clever ones. Breaking, Nancy Pelosi says she supports the bill to ban congressional stock trading. How do you explain that, Rubes? How do you explain that Donnie's against banning stock trading by the president, the vice president, and Congress and the Senate? But Pelosi's in favor of banning it. How do you explain that, Rubes? That doesn't make sense. Because in right-wing grift / terror machine land for a little over a decade, I've been hearing everybody yelling about how Pelosi does all this stock trading and, you know, she's crooked and blah, blah, fucking blah. Okay, if that's true, then she wouldn't be down with this bill then, right? They named it after her, the Pelosi something bill. They thought it was a big joke. Meanwhile, their cult leader hates it because he grifted something. This is the grift he'd been dreaming about since he was a boy. Are you kidding me? Dreaming about. Talking about it in the early 80s, son. He ain't trying not to be able to do stocks and all this other bullshit grift that he's doing. And he did just take a $400 million bribe. But let's talk about Nancy Pelosi's stock trading, right, you fucking idiots? As you're being straight looted by the orange thing. No, it's really her husband that trades in the stocks. And there's a million fund managers, trading firm people, married to all kind of people in the Senate, Congress, millions of trading firm workers, trading stocks, working with stocks every single day. Are they evil? Are they getting inside info from their spouse, whatever? She was on a news show, Pelosi, and they brought this up. I believe it was Tapper on CNN, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong. Because he wanted to start some shit. And Pelosi was like, can we not talk about it? It's really my husband that trades stocks. And if we talk about it, some fucking nutcase will come to my door with a hammer and try and kill my husband. I was like, oh, damn. And you know what? She was right. Because that's what you freaks do. That's what you freaks did. And then you made jokes about it. Some cunt cultist because of Donnie's shitbags and you fucking idiots. And Fox News went to these people's door with a hammer and tried to kill that man. What the fuck is wrong with you people? This is why your country's gone. This is why your entire movement is destined for the lake. Do you hear me? So I'm not buying the Pelosi stories from the right-wing grift/terror machine. I'm sorry. One of the reasons I'm not buying it, I'm not on board with you, is because Miss Pelosi said, yeah, I'll vote for it. What's the problem? I don't care what they say about me in MAGA land. They're fucking morons. Donnie's the one saying Mr. Hawley's working with the Democrats to pass the no stock trading bill. You rubes have been talking about Pelosi and the no stock trading. They even named it after her son. And she's like, yeah, I'll vote for it. Just because they say things about me don't mean that's me. What's Donnie going to do? Oh, he's going to write thesis-length posts about Josh Hawley and how terrible he is for daring to say, hey, let's not have stock trading. They thought they were going to catch the Democrats in a uncomfortable position. What you cunts don't understand or can't acknowledge to yourselves, I guess. Donnie's the crooked one. Everyone else he points the finger at, they ain't a tenth as crooked as Donnie. They ain't a tenth as guilty as Donnie. And just because you've been repeating it on the social medias, on the internets, and you heard fat-ass Alex Snake Oil Salesman Jones repeat it for 20 years, doesn't mean it's true, asshole. Can you grasp that concept? Alex is a snake oil salesman. The whole right-wing machine thing, they're all grifters, every single motherfucking one of them. So when you get to crookedness and who's going to vote for crookedness or not vote for crookedness, Miss Pelosi will always vote for non-crookedness. Donnie will try and not to make it happen, try and kill it before it gets bored. That's the difference. She was fine with the banning stock trading. You know why? Because she ain't trading stocks, you fucking morons. Her husband is! I know fat ass Alex told you otherwise. Well, you know, again, that's why you're losing your country. You listen to a snake oil salesman who hangs out at Dugan conferences in Moscow. Do you hear me, son? I thought you people didn't like commies. What happened? One more time, I want to repeat it for clarity, Rubes. Miss Pelosi says, no problem. I will vote yes on the bill to kill stock trading in Congress, in the Senate, in the vice presidency, and in the presidency. Ooh, they got caught in their own trap. Mousetrap, Donnie. Mousetrap. Just because you people tell lies about Miss Pelosi for 2 decades doesn't mean she'll act according to your fucking lies. So when you set a trap, you best make sure you ain't setting a trap for the crookedest motherfucker. Because that's Donnie. That's whose toe is caught in the goddamn trap, you fucking idiot hillbillies. Not Miss Pelosi. She's floating on air. Yeah, I'll vote for the bill the Rubes want me to vote for. They've wanted it for years, right? I'll vote for it. What, they thought I wouldn't? Why, because Alex Jones said so? The guy who has a fucking billion for defamation hasn't paid cunt penny one. You people love grifters, man. You love the WWF. You love snake oil salesmen. You love sex traffickers. You love pedophiles. It's incredible, and you preach against it all. Meanwhile, you embody it. You voted for it. You made it happen. You made this right. It's an expression of you, son. Do you understand that? That's why it lives. That's why it breathes. You gave it life, son. So just because the Rube machine has been talking shit on Pelosi for years, here's where we came to the moment where, you know, the rubber meets the road, right? Where everyone's got to say on record whether they'll vote for no stock trading in government. Pelosi put her name. Yeah, I'll vote for it. No problem. Donnie fighting tooth and nail to make it not a thing. Never forget that. Never forget, you put the grifter in charge, and it's your grifter. You need to acknowledge he's a grifter. And you want to pick any other human on this fucking planet, except for maybe Vlad Putin, and compare Donnie to them? Want to talk who's committed crime, who's crooked, blah, blah, blah? You best look at the orange thing first, because I've never seen nothing like it. He's a one-man crime spree. Here's another fish story by Donnie. Don't worry, I won't waste your time and read the whole thing. I've just concluded a telephone conversation with the President of Mexico, Claudia Sheinbaum, which was very successful in that more and more we are getting to know and understand each other. The complexities of a deal with Mexico are somewhat different than other nations because of both the problems and assets of the border. We have agreed to extend for a 90-day period the exact same deal as we had for the last short period of time. I'm going to stop right there. This is all bullshit, I'm sure. But what is he doing here? Yesterday I read you the comment in all caps like a sociopath, he wrote. The deadline's August 1st, no extensions, no exceptions, fuck everybody. Remember that? I read that to you? In all caps. Today, 90 days extended to Mexico. Taco, always. And it's a grift. This is Mayor Karen Bass of Los Angeles. Another win for Los Angeles tonight. 1,000 more troops are retreating. How sad that that's a win. How sad that she even needs to say that. We will continue this pressure until all troops are out of LA. All troops, son, did you hear me? Your own troops. This is normal now. updates from the mayor of how many thousands of troops left. That's normal now. Your country's gone. It's over. It's never coming back. And it's going to get way worse than this. And yes, they're going to come to your town too. Don't worry. No one's special. Don't worry. Starting with the liberals, just like Hitler did. That's all. Don't worry. They'll get to you too. I promise. You ain't special, son. Don't worry. So we started out with 4,000 National Guard stolen by Donnie the dictator and deployed for no fucking reason. Just to set the precedent of getting troops on the street. Just like Adolf. And then, you know, Donnie's got his own personal police force with the massive machine guns kidnapping people at Home Depots and shit. There's that too, so just like Adolf. So we started out with 4,000 and some active duty Marines too, to really go dictator on a motherfucker. To really set the precedent. We put an active duty on the street. So first 2,000 Marines, or excuse me, 2,000 National Guard went home, and then shortly after the Marines went home, weeks later. So that left 2,000 National Guard still troops on California streets. Now they just removed another 1,000. Still 1,000 to go, so I'm not impressed. I wasn't impressed with any of these announcements. So fucking sad. In dying America, we're at the point where we're getting updates of how many fucking troops are on the street for no reason other than the fucking Antichrist wants them there. How fucking sad is that? Thanks, Rubes. And don't worry, it'll come knocking on your door too. Again, you ain't special, son. I'm sorry. You voted for it. What the fuck can I do? So 1,000 troops still on California streets. I'm not impressed till they all go the fuck home. Skeletor gave a bunch of statements today, my God. Skeletor has no fucking dignity. I mean, these performances, the tone of voice, the way she reads them, I mean, such Joseph Goebbels vibes, my God. Such a performance. No one believes it, not even her. I have seen some videos recently that kind of lend credence to the idea that Miss Levitt is in love with Donnie Shitbag. I mean, like in love, like in awe of the man. Some footage you probably haven't seen. It seems to be a legitimate theory. Carolyn Levitt Skeletor, the official spokeswoman for the White House, has just made the bizarre demand from the podium that Donald Trump should receive the Nobel Peace Prize. We've heard this, 10, 20 times by the Reich. Donnie said he should have got it 4 or 5 times over. Donnie said yesterday there'd be 6 wars going on if it wasn't for him. Miss Levitt went into some of that too. We're going to get to the actual transcript of what she said in a second. That's just the introduction. She also said regarding, and we'll get to more context on this too, regarding the Gaza thing, the starvation there. President Trump is a humanitarian with a big heart, and therefore he's going to give food. I'll give you the rest of it in a minute. But the commenter is saying no one ever in the history of mankind has said Donnie is a humanitarian with a big heart. I mean, that's so propaganda. Everyone knows that's not what Donnie is. Give me a break. This is Liam Neeson. You don't have to be a leftist to believe Donald Trump abused children with Jeffrey Epstein. You just have to be in touch with reality. Yeah, see, that's the real core problem, isn't it? We have a segment of the population, especially in America, that lives in a bubble outside of reality. And they do so indignantly. What do you do with that? Again, what do you do with someone when you say, oh, the sky is blue, and they say, oh, no, it's purple. But look, it's blue. No, it's purple. That's what we're dealing with, outright denial of reality, inversion of reality, calling good evil and evil good. What do you do with that? There's nothing you can do with that lest they turn away from it. They're of no use to anyone. So yeah, it has nothing to do with political ideology, left, right. It has to do with, are you cool with a pedophile as the president? Because everybody knows he is. Everybody. He's not exactly hiding it well. So yeah, you just have to be in touch with reality. It doesn't matter what your politics are. Okay, here's Miss Levitt with more of the transcript about the Nobel. She said this all out loud. I listened to it. The president has now ended conflicts between Thailand and Cambodia, Israel and Iran, Rwanda and the Democratic Republic of Congo, India and Pakistan, Serbia and Kosovo, and Egypt and Ethiopia. This means President Trump has brokered on average about one peace deal or ceasefire per month during his 6 months in office. It's well past due that President Trump was awarded the Nobel I can't even say it. Could you imagine having to read that for a living and go home and look at yourself in the mirror? Would you be able to do it? Because it's such bullshit. And if Donnie is anything, he is not a peacemaker. In fact, he's one of the worst dividers I've ever seen. He got Miss Levitt up there embarrassing herself, saying he deserves the Nobel. I mean, again, you're not supposed to solicit the fucking Nobel. You do something in life and they recognize you. What is the, again, this is such strong 1933 Germany vibes. My God. I mean, this is pure propaganda. Like the definition of dear leader deserves to be worshipped as God propaganda. Like this is where we're going. Again, he wanted to be Pope seriously. He was not joking, son. He wants the Nobel seriously. He wants to own Gaza seriously. He wants the gold statues, the Trump Gaza, the temple, all of it. He wants you to look at him as a god. That's where it's ultimately going. And again, the story, there's a vibe of loyalty pledges. And the mark will truly suss out everyone's true loyalties. That's, again, the time where everyone's talk is cheap. You're going to have to make a real fucking choice. This is incredible. Again, so they've even averaged it out to one alleged peace deal a month. Donnie made none of these peace deals. In fact, he bombed some of these places. Oh my God. Again, I didn't see. I knew from the story and the different prophecy in scripture that's in other sections of the Bible. I knew that this would be a wolf in sheep's clothing, and he would try and present himself as like this great peacemaker and make the big deal that no one can make. But really, he'd be like the devil. He'd be evil. What I didn't expect is the literal Antichrist to be all about getting the Nobel Peace Prize. When he's here to ruin the fucking world. And boy, is he. He's off to a great fucking start. But every 5 seconds in between abominations, bombings, whatever, evil, cruelty, persecution, concentration camps, mass men with machine guns kidnapping people, troops on the street, in between all that, it's handout for the Nobel. In between grifts, my God, that too. Nobel. I deserve the Nobel Peace. I should have got it 5 or 6 times over. What the fuck? The black guy got it. What the fuck? Now we're at the point where Skeletor from the White House podium is soliciting basically the Nobel, saying that you should give it to him. This is beyond fucking pathetic. This level of theater and propaganda-ing. There's a lot of spin and different techniques in politics and giving speeches, but there is no skill or technique here. This is pure, naked inversion of reality like Nazi Germany. No skill was required. Just lie and say black is white, white is black. You know what I mean? Just flip everything, invert everything. That's the level we're at now. Naked, unabashed, just flat out denial of reality, stating it out loud as if it's true. Expecting us to go along. No one believes this. There's not a human on earth that believes what she just said here, that he made all these deals. The India and Pakistan one, they straight up said he had nothing to do with it. So I never heard about the Rwanda-Congo peace, the big peace deal that Donnie made there. I never heard about that one. The Kosovo and Serbia one, I never heard about that one either. I don't know. The Egypt and Ethiopia, I didn't hear about that one either. If there were such, enormous peace deals at the time. Let's move on. Levitt pivots from claiming that Trump doesn't support elected officials ripping off their constituents by profiting from their public service to fielding a question about Trump's plan to host the G20 at Trump Doral. If you don't get the irony or the hypocrisy in what I just read you there, you're probably beyond help. That's what I mean by pure naked inversion reality propaganda speak. Donnie is grifting every 3 seconds. Everyone knows this. He tried in his first term to have the G20 at fucking Doral. Remember that? Everybody flipped out because it's crooked as fuck. It's literally profiting off the presidency. Everyone knew it. Everyone was talking shit and he backed down. This time he will not back down. He's going balls out anti-fucking Christ. He's going to take the grift to levels you've never dreamed of. For instance, I didn't see coming that he was going to take a sky mansion from, the Qatari royal family. Worth $400 million, then make you pay for it! You fucking marks! $2 billion you gonna pay to fix that piece of shit up. That bribe that he took. That's why your country's gone. Anyone that dares say, try and make an argument for taking that plane, So this time, the G20 probably will be at Doral, and my God, the money he will rake in from foreign nations that stay there, from his entourage, all his people will be down there. Donnie's going to charge top dollar at Doral where all the bed bugs are, and then you're going to pay that bill. Another straight up grift. He just went to Scotland on your dime, had the whole entourage stay there at the new golf club, get it off to a good start, a good $30-40 million from the U.S. taxpayer. For everybody, not just for him. White House press secretary. Upwards of 200 countries around the world have reached out to the trade and tariff team. That's what Miss Levitt said. That's a quote. Unfortunately for Miss Levitt and the Reich, there are 193 countries. 195 if you include the Vatican and Palestine. Maybe the highly tariffed penguins and other various animal groups have created nations. So when Miss Levitt says upwards of 200, what does that tell you, Rubes? There's no deals. No one's calling. She just pulled that straight out of her ass. First, it came out of Donnie's diaper. Again, I have to ask, are you people sadists? Do you like being marks? You enjoy being lied to? And these people, they despise you as well on top of it. But my God, the amount of lies they feed you per day that you have to repeat. It's astounding. Upwards of 200 called, she said, but there's not even 200 countries. That's not a good sign for us, son. In an authoritarian move, the White House spokeswoman Carolyn Levitt, also known as Skeletor, demands the media cover crazy conspiracies about Hillary Clinton and says that Trump wants to see justice served. Yes, she started talking about Hillary Clinton and she says, this is what the press should be covering. This should be the #1 story, blah, blah. Yeah, Hillary Clinton, again, investigated for the millionth time. They never found jack shit on her. Meanwhile, the cunts in the Reich are using Signal app, inviting reporters in, inviting their wives in, their grandmas, their kids, the family fucking dog. But let's talk about Hillary, right? Again, just another distraction from Epstein. What is Miss Levitt Skeletor saying, in essence? Stop talking about Epstein because Donnie's getting scared. Because he's neck deep in the shit. Talk about Hillary Clinton again like you did back in 2015, 2016. Be good rubes like you were before. That's what Miss Levitt is saying. Going back to an oldie but goodie, Hillary Clinton. Because, yeah, she's the crooked one, not Donnie. Not the convicted felon who tried to overthrow the government. He's not crooked at all. Not the one who was best friends with Epstein. Breaking news from the New York Times. County emergency official says he was ill and sleeping as Texas floods hit. That sounds real bad, but the floods did hit overnight, so the guy got to sleep sometime, right? But when I first read this, I just got the feeling, the Rorschach feeling of he's using the dog ate my homework excuse. And this is what he looks like. I've seen this guy before. They've kind of been on his case before about the response. He was ill and asleep. But the guy's got one job, For a job like his, honestly, you should have some way to be woken up at night in case some big emergency does happen. It sounds like he didn't want to hear nothing and just closed it down for the night. But, again, some jobs like his, specific jobs, you got to be available 24 hours. That doesn't mean you can never sleep, but you got to have a phone next to you or something. So, if some huge emergency happens, you can be contacted and perform your duties. This just doesn't look good. It doesn't sound good. Almost fucking 200 people died. It just doesn't look good, man. And then you got the Donnie firing all the weather people right before this, defunding all kind of weather programs and sensors. And my God. Again, you're being dismantled and looted. That's literally what's happening to you. Oh, Trump's going to build a $200 million ballroom. And these are some views of what it might look like. Shitty Trump Taj Mahal or something. That's the feeling I got when I saw it. There was a room called the Grand Ballroom that could hold a few thousand people. It was enormous. Hideous carpet, hideous pillars, hideous ceiling, hideous paper and painting on the walls. Fucking hideous. The whole building color scheme, all the carpet, everything was hideous in that place. Gaudy as fuck. That's what this reminds me of. And in the picture, I can even tell they got the shitty wooden gold spray painted rental chairs that you get from the rental company for people to sit on. You know, then they tie a little pad to it. Same cheese and gaudiness as the Trump Taj Mahal or one of those ballrooms. And that's what he's going to do to the White House. And according to Miss Levitt, because the first thing I thought is, oh, well, the taxpayer's going to pay for that. He's not going to pay for it. I saw the actual post before I saw Miss Levitt's announcement, because she announced it at the podium. The White House will begin constructing a ballroom. White House Press Secretary Karen Levitt announced. President Trump and other donors have generously committed to donating the funds necessary to build this approximately $200 million structure, she said. Now, for Donnie's parade, they also said there were donors paying for it because guys like me were on camera yelling about the taxpayer paying for it. And what about saving money? All you fiscal lying ass hypocrite conservatives out there? What about it? Oh yeah, there's going to be donors. And guess what happened during the parade? You people laughed about it, you remember? During the parade, they announced sponsors of the parade. There were no fucking sponsors of the parade, you fucking idiots. You paid for that. Just because they announced some names over a loudspeaker, names they gave contracts to, by the way, doesn't mean they paid a fucking dime. Same story here, I promise you. You're going to pay the $200 million. And you know what? That's going to take a long time to build. Donnie's leaving in a few years, right? He's only got a 4-year term. No, he's not leaving. No. He wouldn't be building that if he was. And he staged a coup last time, so, you know. No, he ain't leaving. He's the Antichrist. He's not making that mistake again. He will not let that happen again, what happened last time. His time being up. Him having to leave the White House. No, I'm sorry. I wish. He wouldn't have taken that Sky Mansion and wouldn't wait 2.5 years for it to be operational on your dime, of course. He would be building this ballroom. That'll probably take a couple years to fucking build. $200 million structure, you say? No, donors will not be paying for that. I don't believe that for a fucking second. They always say that. Where's the proof? You're going to name the specific donors? Can I see the checks? No? Okay, so the taxpayer's going to pay for it. So there's no money for school lunches. There's no money for this program, that program. We want to take Medicaid away from people unless you pick cotton. But we're going to pay $2 billion to fix up the bribe plane from Qatar. That's worth $400 million. We're going to pay more to fix it than it's worth. And we're going to pay for a $200 million shitty, gaudy ballroom for the Antichrist. But all the social programs need to be cut. No money can go to Ukraine. No money can go to anything. People apply for FEMA funds. They get told to fuck off. And then there was the whole Doge thing. Every other phrase out of cunt Leon's mouth and cunt Donnie's mouth was waste, fraud, and abuse to justify all the evil they were doing. Came out of a lot of your mouths as well. You only parroted what you heard. You can't think for yourself. How do I know you voted for a convicted felon who looks at you as fucking marks? That's how I know. So you repeated the talking points out there, waste, fraud, and abuse every 3 seconds, just like Leon and Donnie. What's up with the bribe plane and the $2 billion it's going to cost to fix it up? What's up with the $200 million ballroom? Oh, there's going to be sponsors. No, there isn't. No problem with those? No problem with Donnie opening up his new golf club on your dime? Good 20, 30 million getting it started? Taxpayer money? No? Yeah, I'm not buying that the donors are going to pay the $200 million. Why would they? Who's going to stop Donnie from hitting the treasury for the $200 million? Besant? Oh, no. There's a report that Trump wants to host the G20 at the Trump Doral Resort. Would that be seen as his businesses profiting from holding this kind of meeting? That's a question to Skeletor. I would reject that premise entirely. Well, her Skeletor ass can reject it all she wants. That's a straight up grift. That's the reason emoluments clauses were written for crooks like Donnie, who would say, hey, yeah, let's host a G20 at my club. I can make millions off the taxpayer for, a few days. Money goes right to my club, right in my pocket. I collect from all the foreign dignitaries that need to stay there. Millions. Just a grift. That's all it is to Donnie. As if he even needs the money. He's grifted like 40 billion or something since you gave him the keys. That tariff account too, that's all his money. That's how he looks at it. That's the only logical reason for his actions with this. Only thing that makes sense. And I know Donnie. Nothing's off limits. Even raping a woman in a changing room at a store. So yeah, having the G20 at your own club when you're the president and pocketing all the money, yeah, that's, I would say profiting from holding this kind of meeting, profiting from the presidency. I mean, hell, he's selling citizenship for $5 million. Remember the Donnie Gold card? That's a thing. Oh, this somehow slipped in here. Ozzy and Randy Rhoads playing Mr. Crowley. I don't know how that got in there. Little blurry, but I don't know what the hell the bass player was doing. And it's like he was doing like them cheesy 80s. If you can hold him, get a white picture that has some light. He was doing this cheesy 80s like head bob forward while he's playing his bass, and it was pure cheese. You could tell it wasn't real. What Rhodes and Ozzy were doing was real. You could tell. Ozzy was loving what Randy was doing. Ozzy loved that fucking guy. Doesn't even like to talk about him. Fucks them all up. All throughout his life, people would ask about. I could tell he's like, I don't want to talk about Randy Rhoads. Love that fucking guy. And what an amazing guitar player. Uh, Here's Donnie at a press conference later. It looks like Triple H, and there's some wrestlers around. I think, I don't know, who, Lawrence Taylor or somebody uh, got up and said something like, I don't even know why we're here, but whatever service I can be, to you, Mr. President. So Donnie got questions like this as he's standing next to like wrestlers and different people. I don't even know why the wrestlers and people were there. I think Triple H got some type of position in government or something. It's not funny, but if I don't laugh, I'll cry. Because all I'm thinking when I hear myself saying Triple H got a position in government, son, all I'm thinking is, man, our nation's in rapid decline. We are just going straight the fuck down, Antichrist style. You know, where you give the wrestling guy's wife a Department of Education head, because really the only agenda is fire all the teachers and let the Reich's AI teach children for a couple generations. Put Triple H in some fucked up position in government. Oh, gee, we are so fucking doomed thanks to you people, man. And you know who I'm talking to. So Donnie throws a tantrum. Reporter, why didn't you invoke the 1977 law to impose tariffs in your first term? Trump, because in my first term I was fighting lunatics like you who are trying to do things incorrectly and inappropriately to a president who was duly elected. What do I even say about that? All I can say, that's a 3-year-old having a tantrum. He didn't need to, again, it's a reporter asking a question. You don't have to fighting lunatics like you, he's telling the reporter. This is the unhinged fucking maniac. Everyone's out to get the poor convicted felon. The guy's a fucking rapist, fraud, defamer. Tried to overthrow his own country and be dictator. He's doing it right now. He's going to end up dictator. That's the way our country ends. That's the way the story ends, son. You didn't know? You better ask somebody. What do you think I'm telling you every night? That's where your empire ends, Donnie. Shitbags. With a diaper full of shit and a crown on his head. The crown should read, "The End of America Forever." That's what you're witnessing before your eyes. And it's never coming back. Because in my first time, I was fighting lunatics like you who are trying to do things incorrectly and inappropriately to a president who was duly elected. This thing tried to overthrow the government and be dictator for life. He shouldn't be pointing the finger at anyone. Should be in a goddamn prison cell. And everyone knows it. Another question. The family of Virginia Guffrey released a statement overnight in response to some of the comments you made this week when you said that Jeffrey Epstein stole people from Mar-a-Lago. Did you know why he was taking those young women? No, I didn't know. Right, Donnie, right. I mean, I would figure it was ABC fake news that would ask that question. So don't bring up the 1977 tariff thing. Don't bring up Epstein. Everyone knew that before they walked in. Or Donnie's going to straight out lash out at you like a 3-year-old. Because Donnie's guilty as fuck regarding the Epstein stuff, and we all know it. Every one of us. Even the rubes. No, I didn't know. I mean, I would figure it was ABC fake news that would ask that question. But no, I don't know really why. Yes, you do, Donnie. Yes, you do. But I said if he's taking anybody from Mar-a-Lago, he's hiring or whatever he's doing. I don't like it. So I threw him out. I didn't like it that he was doing that. Donnie knew exactly where they were taking that girl to. So he's lying about that. And Donnie was a customer. One of Jeffrey's best. Obviously. Again, lashing out at the reporter because he's a pedo. The other one, pointing out his tariff grift. Why didn't you pull the same move last time? Invoke this 1977 law. So don't point out Donnie's grifts and don't bring up Epstein. Or he's going to lash out at you. This is Donnie on Big Bad Jerome Powell. Biden only extended him because he knew I couldn't stand him. Again, Donnie, the 3-year-old. Yes, I'm sure Biden sat there during his presidency and said, you know what? I know I should get rid of Jerome, but I'm going to keep him just because Donnie doesn't like him. Donnie appointed him! Rubes! Here he is complaining that Biden kept one of his appointees. Simply because Jerome goes right under the bus. Why? Simply because he won't cover for Donnie's grift. The tariff grift that's ruining your economy by the fucking second. Big Bad Jerome said, no, I'm not lowering rates or whatever Donnie wants him to do to run cover for your straight up fucking grift. Sorry. So this notion that Biden only kept him because somehow Biden knew in the future Jerome was going to fuck Donnie over and that Donnie didn't like him. Because all indicators pointed to Donnie liking Jerome because Donnie appointed Jerome. I mean, this ridiculous fucking child. Jerome's only here because Biden kept him because Biden knew I didn't like him. It's just, every clip I read you, it's just so sad and pathetic to witness. I can't even listen to him talk anymore. I'm really loath to listen to the clips. I force myself to listen to most of them. I don't want to hear his voice. One of the major reasons is it's so cringe. It's like a 4-year-old lying to their mother when their mother says, did you get into the freezer and get a bunch of ice cream? And the kid's standing there shaking his head. No, mommy, I didn't touch the ice cream. I swear. Meanwhile, the child has ice cream all over his face and hands, etc. That's what it's like listening to Donnie shitbags try and cover for one of his grifts, evils, abominations, lies, whatever. It's pure cringe because what we're witnessing is a 4-year-old in an obese 79-year-old's body in orange face with a diaper full of shit on, lying through his fucking teeth every 3 seconds. It's so fucking cringe. Like Leon's little speeches used to be from the White House, remember? I've got a post from Leon today. More cringe pseudo-wisdom from a guy who put all his money into robotics and AI. So it's got to be the future, right? All Leon's money's sunk into it. The Antichrist whole agenda is sunk into it. The devil's whole agenda is sunk into it. It must come forth. But we'll get to that. Again, Biden only kept Big Bad Jerome because somehow he knew in the future Donnie would hate his guts. It's plausible, right? They asked Donnie about Russia. Russia, I think it's disgusting what they're doing. This is Biden's war. It's very sad. A lot of Russians are dying. And then he repeated a lot of Russians and Ukrainians are dying like 5 times. And that was the end of the clip. But in the middle of the clip, this is Biden's war. You know, I'm so tired of watching you people, the Reich, the Rubes, Satan, invoke Biden's name for everything. No, the reason the war is still going on is because Donnie is Vlad's bitch. Donnie Krasnov since 1987, verified. And Donnie can't stop him because Vlad owns him. Biden was equipping Ukraine with weapons. Vlad didn't want Biden in there. He needed his bitch Donnie in there, like last time. Biden didn't start this war. Vlad's old KGB. Vlad's of Satan. Vlad wants his satellite countries that he lost from the USSR. Wants them back. He wants all the mineral and oil and diamonds and everything else they got in those countries as well. That's why all this is happening. It has nothing to do with Joe Biden. All Joe Biden did is step in and give us 4 years of peace. That's all he did. And then he got backstabbed by his own party. Didn't start any war with Russia, though. So I don't understand how this is Biden's war. Just another lie from the Antichrist, as usual. Another reporter asks, Marjorie Taylor Greene has said that what's taking place in Gaza is a genocide. And again, don't start thinking Margie Sporkfoot has a heart. No, she hates Jews. She always has. She's a white nationalist, Alex Jones style. They all hate Jews. That's one of the #1 hatreds of the Klan, of the Nazis, of the white nationalists. Hatred of Jews doesn't even make logical sense unless you know a story from a book. That's the only way it makes logical sense. This hatred of the Jews by so many different peoples and groups does not make logical sense in any way, shape, or form unless you look at it through a certain lens. And that's the only way. So Margie isn't all of a sudden turning over a new leaf. She just hates Israel, the Jews in general, and she'd love to see them go down just like every other white nationalist would. Like every other Nazi would. Like Donnie would love to see. Like Leon would love to see. Like Mr. Thale would love to see. They can't say that right now, but don't worry. In time. Give it time. One of the main components of the story is the Antichrist turning on the Jewish people. Made some type of deal with the Jews in the story. Halfway through, he reneges. No one reneges like Donnie. Pretty much guarantee that. Any deal made. So that part of the story is very plausible. I mean, again, look at Leon. He was co-chancellor 1 second. Now he's on the outs. That quick it can happen in Donnie world, in Antichrist world. Loyalty is a one-way motherfucking street. Here's Donnie. Oh, it's terrible what's occurring there. Yeah, it's a terrible thing. Donnie and Bibi literally intentionally starve these people. So whenever he plays this babe in the woods shit, it's a terrible thing. They're starving. I want to help them. No, you literally starved them, son. You and Bibi did that. People are very hungry. You know, the U.S. gave $60 million for food, And it's a shame because I don't see the results of it. Nobody said thank you. There's a few more lines I'm going to read you later that finish that off. But here again is Donnie saying out loud for, I don't know, the third or fourth time, third or fourth day, that no one thanked him for the $60 million he gave to the Israeli Foundation. He didn't buy food. He didn't deploy food. He gave $60 million to a foundation run by Israel. That's not buying food. So even that's a goddamn lie. But again, whether he got them food or not, for him to dare say for the third or fourth time that someone should be thanking him for this. Again, he's the Antichrist. There's a reason I say that. I ain't just saying it for fun, clicks and views, drama. I'm saying because this cunt's an abomination a fucking minute. I've never seen anything like it. It's almost as if it's supernatural or something. It's almost as if he has the devil's blessing, and that's why he skated through all these horrible things he's done. Almost. Nobody said thank you. Antichristo in Latin. Trump on the need for a new White House ballroom. Yes, because the press, hey, what's up with the $200 million ballroom? What happened to saving money? You fiscal conservative hypocrites, you're lying again. People are slopping to the tent. It's not a pretty sight. He's talking about at the White House. The women with their lovely evening gowns, all of their hair all done, and they're a mess by the time they get in. They've always wanted to have it. No, you wanted it, Donnie. All of his casinos had these hideous meeting rooms and ballrooms. The Trump Taj Mahal was the largest. That's where I was. 5,000 seat concert arena. They had boxing matches there, concerts. I went to a few of them. I saw live there. They were horrible, but I saw them. Played all their worst songs, brought Dennis Rodman out at the end. I'm like, what the fuck is this, a circus? The fuck is this? Came to see live. What the fuck? Grand Ballroom, again, held like 3,000, 2,500, something like that, maybe a little more. Then there were smaller ballrooms, all gaudy, all hideous. So this ballroom idea, this is nothing new with Donnie. He likes these type of things. So this wasn't the ladies and their evening gowns getting ruined or whatever that brought this up, that made this happen, that thought this up. No, it was Donnie. I've been in many of his properties and seen these things. I assume Mar-a-Lago's the same way. And he's going to turn the White House into, little Mar-a-Lago, little Taj Mahal. The place was like the size of a city, had that many people inside of it as well, that Taj Mahal place. Enormous. Of course, it was all money laundering, but that's beside the point. So Donnie defending the ballroom that, it's the lovely ladies, they're walking from tent to tent. I want to have a ballroom. They said they want it. No, Donnie, you want it. The Antichrist wants it. The guy who thinks he's God wants it. And the taxpayer gonna pay for it, son. Don't think you ain't. I don't give a fuck what they say, how many times they use the word donor. Okay, I want names. I want a readout of money that went from here to there. I want it all. Otherwise, I am running with the story that the taxpayers are paying the bill. Because these cunts lie, cheat, and steal, again, like I never seen. They make Nixon look like a fucking Saint choir boy. And Nixon was born crooked. That's how bad these people are. So anytime a new project, like fixing up a $400 million bribe plane comes and they say it's going to cost $1 billion, I'm going to assume $2 billion and the taxpayer going to pay every penny of it. They're not even saying that that's not the case on that one. On the ballroom, on the parade, I'm going to assume the taxpayer paying for all of it. Until I see a schematic with names, money moved, everything. I don't trust these cunts as far as I could fucking kick them. This is grift fucking central. Again, even Nixon, if he was around during this time in this minute, he'd be like, damn, this is even crooked for me. Damn, Donnie. You one crooked fat fuck. Trump is in really bad shape. My grandfather would stumble and drop his shoulder like this after his first stroke. Now, I didn't know whether to even take this seriously. As the day went on, I saw the clip more and more, and I thought about it, and I looked at it. And what it is, Donnie's leaving the room, and he started off behind the podium. And he turned sideways, and he started to walk. And I don't know if his jacket, arm, or something got caught on the podium, but all of a sudden, he's walking. I'll try and demonstrate it. He's walking, and the shoulder facing the camera, all of a sudden his shoulder just dips down like this, and he almost like fell or something. And it didn't look like his feet slipped or anything. It was a very strange movement. It was not normal. And Donnie caught himself and realized what happened. And then all of a sudden he waved like this to try and play it off. So he's got some type of condition that they're not telling us about besides the other thing. But we've known this for years. Again, he stole his medical records for a reason. But it just looked real odd. Yeah, it's definitely because of some condition. He didn't get his arm caught on anything. If you watch it over and over, it's just, again, I guess, I've never seen someone have a stroke, but I guess it would kind of be like that, right? You would just kind of lose control of your body and just fall. And maybe lose control of one side, which is what happened. It was like one side just drooped all of a sudden. It was weird, very strange. Again, I put the clip up. All these things I talk about, the majority of them, I put a clip up in the post section and put a link if there's audio or video or whatever. Just for you. I know you don't get notified. I know. I'm not blaming you. Meatball Ron DeSantis has declared August 1st Hulk Hogan Day in Florida and ordered all flags to be lowered to half-mast. So we're going to have a Hulk Hogan Day down in Florida. That's real exciting, right? Tradition for a Hulk Hogan Day could, just a thought. Fans of Hulk Hogan could go to like various concentration camps and take a photo at the concentration camp in honor of Hulk Hogan. Just a thought, again. What you could do on Hulk Hogan Day. This is George Conway talking about Donnie's Ballroom. And he's saying, because the ballroom's going to be 90,000 square feet for Der Fuhrer. So it didn't occur to me because I don't have a concept of what that kind of square footage is. I'm not really in that business. George Conway said a football field is 57,600 square feet. A football field is fucking huge. And this ballroom's going to be damn near double the size. Jesus, Donnie, you expected Hitler himself to show up? You going to dig him up? Holy fucking shit. I'm getting, again, with this ballroom thing, with a lot of the things, Donnie, I'm getting a very kind of Adolf Hitler, Wolf's Lair kind of vibe here. And these things he's doing, again, fixing up the bride plane, this ballroom, that's going to take a long time. Donnie's not going to have a lot of time to enjoy these things, huh, Rubes? No, he'll have plenty of time because he's not leaving. And I got this flash as I was talking about it of a bunch of Nazis in this ballroom. Like in the old days in Germany. Celebrating whatever. And it's the new normal. The Reich has their big celebrations there. I literally saw it in my head. It just kind of flashed like that's what it's going to look like. How long is it going to take to get there? Starting to get the feeling lately that it's going to draw out longer than I want it to. I'm really hoping my timeline's correct. I don't know. This is great. Again, we're talking Reichs, we're talking Adolf Hitler, we're talking rewriting history, censorship. Smithsonian removes Trump from impeachment exhibit in American History Museum. The Smithsonian said it restored the display to an earlier version, which notes only 3 presidents have seriously faced removal. So they took Donnie out of the impeachment exhibit. I told you people years ago, especially after January 6th. I've been saying it every now and then. The Republican Party and the Reich, they cannot let history be written this way because 80% of the Republican Party is traitors to their nation, took Russian money, aided in a coup attempt. Many of the cabinet aided. The president himself incited the insurrection and tried to be a dictator for life. So that's one thing. They cannot have that written in the history books. What have they been doing for years now? Taking things out of the history books that make white people look bad, that make the old Reich look bad. Once I saw that, I realized, oh, they're going to take January 6th out of the history books. They're going to whitewash this whole thing. So 100 years from now, kids in class ain't reading in history how Mitch McConnell helped stage a coup, how Lindsey Graham helped, how Donald Trump tried to overthrow the U.S. government, how he got impeached multiple times. They can't have that in the history books. And now we're going full Reich. We're going, Alexander Dugin, Leon Scum, Peter Thiel. Now we have to, turn Hitler into a glorious figure. We have to erase the Holocaust. We have to start putting Jews in camps again. We have to erase any negative stories about the white race, like slavery, etc. We have to get rid of that. We have to whitewash all of history in the image of the Reich. We have to erase all our crimes. This is the beginning right here. The Smithsonian taking the impeachment exhibits away. That's a big deal. Everyone's bending over, man. This ain't going to a good place. Down in these southern states, what have they been doing for the past 10 years? Censoring books, removing books. Donnie and the Reich took books about the Holocaust, books about women, books about gay people, all kinds of things. Off the shelves, off the military shelves. What's the first thing Donnie did when he got in office? One of the first things. Went to the military, said, you cannot observe these holidays anymore. One of them was Holocaust remembrance. That happened very shortly after he became president. That proclamation was made. So again, when I see Jews aligned with literal Nazis, you know they hate you, right? They would love to put you guys in camps again, like their hero Adolf did. And you're working with them. Kind of like the Latinos for Trump that listened to Leon and Donnie and others. Yeah, we rounded every fucking body up. The Latin people heard that. We'll vote for him anyway. Not all of them, but some of them enough. It makes no logical fucking sense. When people hear someone promised to persecute them, and they say, well, I'm just going to disregard that and vote for it anyway. Again, in this country especially, we're so used to never having to pay the bill. Do you notice that? I notice that. I watch people vote for evil over and over again. Put their name on it, preach it. Because they never had to pay the bill, son. There was always someone to come clean up the mess that they made. With their choices, there will be no one this time. Until the very end. And that one isn't a man, so. In other words, this time the bill is due. The evil you put your name on, you have to pay the bill now. You don't get to walk away again. And then in 8 years or 4 years, a Democrat comes in to wipe your ass. Sorry. This is a real bad sign for where shit's going. If you think erasing history is a good thing, then maybe, I don't know, a job with a mask and machine gun kidnapping people is right for you. Maybe you'll get your college loans forgiven. Here's Donnie talking shit on Big Bad Jerome. Jerome too late. Powell has done it again. He is too late and actually too angry, too stupid, and too political to have the job of Fed chair. He is costing our country trillions of dollars, in addition to one of the most incompetent or corrupt renovations of a building in the history of construction. Put another way, too late is a total loser, and our country is paying the price. The guy's chair of the Federal Reserve. I wouldn't call him a loser. And Donnie's scared of him. Again, Donnie can fire him any day. What's he afraid of? He afraid of Big Bad Jerome. That's what he's afraid of. Too angry, too stupid, and too political. And that's in all caps like a true sociopath. No, that's you, Donnie. Jerome just doing what he's supposed to be doing. And he's not covering for Donnie's grift. And that's what Donnie's doing. He's grifting. He needs Jerome to cover for him. Jerome won't. I don't know what kind of power Jerome has, but Donnie's scared of that man. And I've been telling you for years that these people that run the Federal Reserve, they're the most powerful people in the world. Here's, again, Leon Scum pops his head out and throws this pseudo-wisdom as if it's wisdom, and I don't know what we're supposed to do with it but laugh. Here it is right here. The path to solving hunger, disease, and poverty is AI and robotics, because I sunk all my money into that. That's really why Leon's saying it. No. Also, there's a satanic agenda that goes along with the AI, and Leon's part of it, and Donnie's part of it. But really, because he sunk all his money into it. No, AI and robotics will not solve hunger, disease, and poverty. The AI and the robots are going to take all of our jobs. They've already taken, 40%, 50% have been automated. They even got us in the grocery store ringing up our own fucking groceries. We work for the grocery store now. We're jerk-offs. No, they have an agenda for AI and robotics. And the agenda is, we don't have to pay no humans. God, that sounds like a utopia. Did you ever think the robots might cost even more money? I heard a story today that an Amazon warehouse is using robots. And they have that warehouse air conditioned because the robots overheat. But where the humans work, where they don't have robots, it's not air conditioned, just fuck you sweat. Isn't that incredible? I believe that story 100% too. Think about it for a moment. Do you think AI and robotics is going to make a better world or worse? Do you think it's going to result in more food for you or less? More disease for you or less or the same? Less poverty for you? Because the goal is automation with AI and robots. One of the goals. That means no work for me and you. We starve to death. Because they ain't going to give us no UBI, son. Not this Reich. Oh, fuck no. So once AI and robots are deployed and even a truck driver doesn't have a fucking job no more, not even a taxi driver, not even a pizza delivery man, and everyone's unemployed, how is that going to help with disease? How's that going to help with hunger? Are the robots going to make us food? We wouldn't be able to afford it any fucking way. How's that going to make us richer? Everyone's going to be unemployed. How's that going to work? We going to start profit sharing with the general citizenry? Like a commune or something? Oh, fuck no. AI and robotics won't do jack shit for us except steal our freedom, steal our livelihood, steal everything. That's all it'll do. And they're going to use it to police us, and they're going to use it to take us into that dystopian hell nightmare. Again, where there's a permanent peasant fucking class picking cotton and doing the little Vietnam screws, like I said in the iPhone. And they have all the money. They've already got it now. Leon's worth over $400 billion. Here's a news flash, cunts. That puts pseudo wisdom out there like this. People with $400 billion. If you people didn't hoard all the money, you greedy cunts, destined for the lake of Satan from the time you took your first breath, then there'd be less poverty, less disease, less hunger. It's such a simple concept, but that's not what Satan wants you to do. Satan wants the AI and robotics, because that's a new creation that evil can put its personality into. They already doing it. Leon's done it 3 or 4 times. I've shown you. Turned Grok into Hitler, literally. That's all it's for, son. To police you. to bring misery into your life, to bring dystopian nightmare into your life, because that's what Satan wants from these cunts. And they're going to do it. Otherwise, they lose the blessing. Leon don't get to be $400 billion rich on pure welfare, son. That's the only reason he's where he's at. Because you put him there with your welfare money. Only reason. No other. Donnie says it all the time. It's the one truth he tells once in a while. If I take Leon's welfare away, I don't know what he's going to do. He's going to have to go pack up and go back to South Africa, I guess. Yeah. Thale, too. His bitch ass go back from wherever he fucking came from, too, if the welfare got cut off tomorrow. These cunts survive purely on welfare. How dare they point the finger at anyone else or think less of anyone else? They're the two biggest leeches ever fucking born. So according to Leon Scum, ex-co-chancellor, Nazi salute guy, the path to solving hunger, disease, and poverty is AI and robotics, because he's sunk all his money into that. And it's the only real way to get, make the Reich omnipresent. Hitler would have loved it. Just didn't have the technology yet. Thanks for the wisdom, Leon. I love when Nazi Satan-worshipping oligarchs lay their pseudo-wisdom on us, because they grew up in some weird, fucked up, sex cult, Nazi, fucked up, gross-ass shit. And they think that's normal. And they preach that gospel. That's you. AI and robotics will solve all our problems. Altman said the same. Oh my God, diseases will, we're going to cure all these. No, you won't. That's not what it's for. And you all know it. Another one surviving on welfare, Altman. When a history museum rewrites history to appease the president, it stops being a museum and starts being state propaganda, straight up Orwellian. Yep, that's a Hitler move. Trying to rename the Kennedy Center after Donnie Shitbags or his wife. That's a Hitler move. Taking over the arts, academia, everything. Pure Hitler textbook we were watching. Under pressure from the White House, Smithsonian removes Trump from impeachment exhibit. I already read this to you. I just wanted to give you their comment on it. Yeah, we're going to that dystopia. We're already there in many ways. And we're at the end. Here's the retaliation against Canada, because Canada is daring to say, we're going to recognize Palestine as a state, just like France is about to do. And some other European countries are about to do. Donnie can't have that. He's protector of the Jews right now. That's the act he's doing. Until he fucks them over. Which I promise you he will. So he raised the tariff on Canada from 25% to 35%. That takes effect tomorrow. Our most reliable, closest trading partner, 35%. Simply because they're not going along with Donnie's, take over Israel, take over Gaza, Antichrist, I'm God, come worship me agenda. That's about to happen. And they're going to recognize, the people that are starving. They're going to try and, recognize their statehood. That's all that's happening. But again, like I said, all roads lead to that end point. As fantastical as it sounds. Everything else I thought would happen based on the story I know, based on history as well, because I know these people are Nazis. So that's another indicator of where they're going to go. Literal Nazis. Again, I'm not being dramatic here. Nazi salute by Donnie on July 4th. Nazi salute by Leon on Inauguration Day. And that's just one example. Never mind the concentration camps, masked men with machine guns kidnapping people, troops on your streets. Never mind all that. The Nazi salute. So that's another indicator of where all this is going. The annexation talk, that's pure Hitler. So all roads lead to this one place, because this isn't just a Nazi movement. As wild as all this sounds, believe me, I know how wild it sounds. Believe me, I wish it wasn't true. All roads lead to a place called Israel. All roads lead to a temple being built. That will probably happen in the next few years. Because who's going to stop it? The Muslim world doesn't seem to really mind much what's going on. All roads lead to that temple being built. And Donnie somehow making it about him. And there being some type of abomination that takes place in that temple, him saying, I'm God, or worship me as God, or maybe they put a statue up, who knows? I read in my Catholic Bible there was a notation about a statue of Jupiter that was put in the temple at one point. That would be a complete abomination to do that. If you want to piss God off, that'd be a real great fucking way to do it. Put a statue of a pagan god in the temple. Not a temple, the temple. So it could be something like that even. All I know is it's called the Abomination of Desolation. You can read about it. And what it has to do with is in the temple of God, someone saying they're God, or some abomination in the temple like a statue of Jupiter. Once that takes place, all hell breaks loose. And then the desolation part comes. That's where all this leads. So, again, remember when Donnie first got in, it was target the Muslims in the colleges. Anyone who's expressed displeasure with Israel, they locked these people up, tried to deport them. Some of them they did, I believe. Some got out. They still had to do their stretch in the gulag, son. That's what I'm talking about with this bullshit. They get somebody by mistake or wrongfully take someone. You still go into the gulag for a week, a month, whatever. Your whole life's ruined. This ain't no minor inconvenience. It's Reich shit. It's Nazi Germany shit. It's Papers, Please. It's concentration camps. It's no due process. But anyway, one more time. It's all roads lead to Israel and that moment. What will also be done, in the periphery out here, police state, surveillance state, cashless, going to the Donnie coin. Again, this ain't Alex Jones years ago talking about Obama, son. Again, I don't sell snake oil. That ain't what I'm here for. I'm not here to grift you, con you, snake oil you, any of that bullshit. I ain't here to defame people. I'm here because it's the direst of circumstances. And that's, the main reason. Police state, dystopian nightmare, Peter Thiel, Leon Scum, AI, the crypto, the Donny coin with the 666 on it. It's already on there. I already explained how it's on there, and it's very obvious. It doesn't take an algebraic equation. It doesn't take changing this numerology. Nothing. Very obvious. Very intentional. Another fucking siren going off saying he's the fucking guy. Everything's in place. The parts for the temple, they are right there ready to be slapped up, baby. So once that gets started, they will slap that motherfucker up. Right there, ready to go. Pig picked out for the sacrifice and everything. The Donny coin is there with the number on it. The image is coming soon in the form of Altman's AI. And then the mark, what will that be? A wearable, a chip, whatever, doesn't matter. All technology already there. We had RFK saying he wants a wearable on everybody within 4 years. That ain't for medical purposes, son. There's many forms the mark could take. Technologies already available. Removable tattoos. Microchip between the thumb and forefinger. Wearable. Be all kind of options. That technology has long existed. Now we've got the literal currency that will most likely be used. And we've got the image coming right round the corner. Never before have these things all been in place like this. Never before have they been possible. Only now. During this increased time of knowledge, almost exponential. So that mark is coming, and without it, you won't be able to participate in society. If you don't go along, that will be the true revealing moment for everyone who's of God and who is not, despite all the words that so many people spoke. Gonna come down to that choice. And that'll really show who's who to the Reich, to God, to the devil, to everyone. And there may be some really horrid repercussions for not going along. But you must not go along. No matter what. No matter what it costs you. Because if you do, it's going to cost you everything. And it's that simple. And I'm going to get going because I'm very tired. I hope everyone has a wonderful evening. And again, I want to say, when that time comes, when that mark time comes, you cannot take it. And again, I'm going to end it. If you'd like to help out, I'm going to put the PayPal at the top of the comment section. I'd appreciate it. I put a lot of work and time into this. And a lot of thought and a lot of knowledge I've attained over many years. So if you'd like to help out, I'd appreciate it. And until the next episode, have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful evening.